Welcome everyone to the February edition of the Partner Series. Today we have Alex Symms with Powerstick. It's a vendor that we are very excited to bring on. We've known about them for about a year and a half now, but it's not been until recently that we've really sort of got a chance to dive into their product offerings, seen some products in person, been working with Alex on a couple of different products. We've been just so overly pleased with our entire experience over there. So whenever that happens, we consider them fully a partner. We decide to get them in front of our clients as soon as possible to kind of go through and showcase some of the things that they're doing, so that we can kind of share our excitement and hopefully bring some stuff in front of you guys that you guys get excited about just like we are. Alex is located in Texas. Beautiful sun. Is that sunshine? No, that's Florida. What do they call Texas? That, like the big star state or something like that?
Hey, if you don't like the weather in Texas, wait for 5 minutes. It'll change on you. So we get a little bit of everything here.
Yeah. There you go. And then Landon, who typically runs the meeting, is on his way back from Charleston. So I am at the helm today. So you get to deal with me. But if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat box throughout this meeting. I have put the link to the website in the chat box, so feel free to take a look at that website. If you see any items that you have questions about, imprints, designs, custom boxes, or anything like that you see that you have questions about, we'll be going over a lot of that here today, but feel free to drop those in there. But without further ado, I will kind of let you get after it, Alex.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. I mean, this is something that I know that you are very busy. Your clients are very busy. So to carve out 30, 45 minutes for me this morning, thank you so much for doing that. Just like us popping up on your radar, you guys have also popped up on our radar recently over the last 12 to 18 to 24 months. I do have to kind of like give you guys some love. You all do some amazing things and you're very creative. And so before we start, thank you guys so much for your partnership. You've been amazing. We're going to have a lot of fun. So thank you again for that. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Don't worry, we're not going to try to make this just a PowerPoint presentation. We're going to bounce back and forth a little bit through our website and through some imagery. But this will be a great base for us to kind of get started with. To tell you a little bit about myself, just so you know my background and kind of where I come from. I've been in the promotion of products industry for about 20 years. All on the manufacturing side. I've been on the forefront of R&D. I've been in manufacturing. I'm now a national sales manager that covers the country as well as Canada and South America as well too. Leadership management. I accumulated some in my MAS and my MASI, which is a accreditation in our industry for, like, say, the master's program of our industry. So I got that. I got some digital marketing certification, Google Analytics. So basically, I've pretty much done everything. I'm not the smartest guy at anything, but I'm pretty well-rounded. One of the things that I do a really good job of is being able to understand the relevancy of a project. When it comes to doing corporate merch, if a client can bring us, hey, this is what we want to spend and this is what it's going to be used for, I can usually use my magic powers in providing something that's very relevant to the project. So kind of keep that in mind. A lot of things that we're doing, we really feel like can be used by just about anyone. So, and for any project. So if you could be transparent with that about what you're wanting to be using these for, we can do the dirty work about finding out which product's going to work specifically for that particular event and maximize its ROI. We're kind of geeks. I mean, you're going to see a lot of products that we're going to share on the screen with you today, and you'll kind of see some of that. But and I'll tell you a little bit of story about that as well too. But we love analytics and we love numbers and we love validating our value of being in the promotion of products and corporate merch industry. And so a lot of the products that we revolve around has something to do with mobile tech, or it's a tech product. This last year, we did some digging, and we found that in the corporate merch space, that our buyers of our products bought about $1.6 billion worth of tech. So this is going to be a product industry that is very, very popular. And this vertical is great because it doesn't matter if you're male or female, or if you're 18 or 65, if you're in HR, if you're an admin, if you're in sales or an executive, the types of products that we'll show to you today will be used by just about everyone. We're all carrying around technology, and most of the cases a phone. So a lot of the products that we'll see today too will be relevant for just about anyone in any case. It can be used by anyone. And then also too, is like you might see some products here that might be a little bit advanced, things that maybe you haven't seen before. We make it easy. We can put together some great tech spec sheets for you. Again, we can do the creative for you. and really kind of showcase not just the creativity, but also the functionality for you very, very easily. So kind of keep that in mind. We got some great tools that we can provide for you as well too. So the backstory behind Powerstick is that we are a manufacturer that produces most of our products in North America, which is really weird in the tech space because a lot of the tech products come in from overseas. We manufacture just about everything ourselves. We produce it in Canada, we ship it over the border, and then we FOB from New York. And so what that means is that even though we manufacture in Canada, well, you don't have to worry about customs, duties, taxes, brokerage fees, all of that friction. We FOB just like we would be a domestic supplier and a domestic partner. One of the things that makes us different, though, is because we manufacture our products in North America, we control our own production. So we really don't have to worry about supply chain, or if you had a huge quantity that needed to be delivered very quickly, our company can produce that very fast. The products are there, the raw materials there, all we have to do is do the assembly. So we did a project this last year for Hilton. They needed 200,000 pieces of something. They couldn't take the project overseas because of the supply chain strains. They didn't want to take the risk about taking that product over there as well too. They wanted to find a solution that could produce and ship and be in hands on a certain time. And so this is actually our Bluetooth trackers. We'll talk about this a little bit here in a bit, but we were able to produce 200,000 of these and ship them and get them delivered to like, I think 180 different dropship locations around the country and do that in less than 6 weeks. So I don't do that to let you know that we have this appropriate for every single project that you're going to have 200,000 pieces. We wish you did. But if you did have those situations where you need something very large quantities and it has to be delivered very quickly, we're set up to be able to do that pretty fast. And the biggest thing is that we feel like custom packaging can be added to just about anything. So as we talk through a lot of the products, and if you're checking out the website right now, what you'll see is if you scroll down to the very bottom of the page, and I'll show you here in a little bit, there's always an opportunity for you to enhance your branding through the use of custom packaging. We always use this analogy of print. Remember the old print, like forms and brochures and now boxes? Can also be combined with promotional products like Bluetooth trackers or cups or pens or notebooks, whatever that happens to be. We feel very strongly that packaging is a great way to enhance your branding and help you tell your story. People do some really cool, innovative things with it, like put QR codes on the packaging so they can scan that and be brought to a certain page. If it's for a conference or an event, they can put a QR code that'll drive them to a website that talks about the agenda, information about the speakers, cool stuff to do at night of the conference. So custom packaging is just not made, bless you, and the custom packaging is not just done just to put beautiful color decoration on the box. It can also be used to do a lot of really cool call to action stuff as well too. So kind of keep that in mind. The big talking point within the corporate merchandise industry right now is social impact. And you might be driven by this. You might get, maybe your buyers there internally are asking questions about this, but it's a big, huge movement in our industry. Our job is to do what we can to reduce, reuse, and recycle. And a part of that also too is the social impact partnerships that manufacturers like ourselves are doing to be able to do our best to be able to give back. Our give back partner is a foundation called One Tree Planted, and they do some absolutely amazing things. If you want to geek out, you can go check out their website. It's like onetreeplanted.org. But we partner with them because they're not making impact just in America or in Canada. They're actually making significant impact around the world. And so there's a lot of manufacturers within our specific vertical that will put social impact on a product or category of products. Powerstick, we put social impact on every single order that you do with us. So if your motivation is that you want to use a manufacturer that's maybe based in North America, they have some type of social impact attached to it, some give back, then not just a product or a combination of products or a certain number of products that we do, every single product that we do participates in that. So if you're driven by that, and that's the motivation for your purchase, or that's relevant to the project that you're working on, keep in mind that the things that you'll see today can be involved with just every single project that you do on that. Another big talking point in our industry and our vertical is really the environmentally friendly concepts, the things that are made to be sustainable, the things that, again, are made to reduce or reuse or recycle, and Powerstick participates in that space on a lot of different types of fronts. If you really wanted to kind of check out a little bit more information about that, you can go to our website, click on the Eco collection of our website, if I can do that myself, And you'll see the number of products that participate within that space. We're very transparent. We're very authentic, and we don't greenwash our products. We are a tech mobile solutions provider. We have a lot of products that have controller chips and PC boards, and they just have to have that to be able to operate and to work. But if you're ever interested in seeing what types of products that we participate in at Powerstick that can be placed inside of an eco collection, or if you're motivated by that within your buy, you're going to see a lot of those products on our website right here. And again, our job is to be able to reduce, reuse, and recycle. A couple of products that are kind of cool is you see the eco fold stand and the eco stand and the eco spot. The fold stand and the eco stand, pretty self-explanatory. It holds your phone. The eco spot is a Bluetooth tracker. What's interesting about that material is it's a combination of wheat straw and recycled plastic. So it's not ABS plastic or original plastic. It's actually made out of recycled materials. Kind of cool. The ClearPad Eco here, as well as the Slice and Serve, uses 100% Canadian maple, sourced locally, and which has been determined to be a sustainable material as well too. So there's a lot of companies, maybe they've heard of buying bamboo, but they don't really like bamboo. They want to buy something that might be a little bit heavier, nicer, last longer. Then a lot of clients will be attracted to the 100% Canadian maple products that we do. And we'll show you some of those here in just a couple of minutes. But if you're ever interested in learning more specifically about the products that we participate in within the environmentally friendly space, you'll find that very easy on our website. There's a lot of great terminology on here. And this is also a really great job for us to tell our story of how we participate within this space. It talks about, again, reduce, reuse, recycle, the eco materials, as well as the social impact partner that we have as well too at Powerstick. So really cool. So again, go products category, and then boom, eco collection. I know everybody here on the call is sitting at this page right now, right?
And I do love the push that really the products industry as a whole is trying to get into that eco space. You know, for a long time, I was just talking to Justin about this yesterday, but for a long time, it's just been in a lot of worlds like the trash and trinkets industry. And we've all received that thing at a trade show or at an event. And it's just like, oh, that's cool. I'm glad I got this, but I'm going to use it for 5 seconds. If I even do, and it's likely going to go to the trash. And so now that you see this sort of push into quality products made from quality materials that are either recycled. So there's this really good, like, I don't know, just feeling when you get the product, and then being able to even recycle it after the fact is great. But I love the push that the whole industry is making to do that.
Yeah, it's a huge movement. I'm actually part of some boards, including one called Promo Cares, where we're a collection of different manufacturers within our industry that are having conversations and talking amongst ourselves about things that we can do to better be more sustainable. And sustainability is not just being eco-friendly. It's the social impact, it's the DEI, it's the cultural changes. And I think that it's really been a huge push in our industry to be able to become better stewards for the environment. It's really exciting to see a lot of companies are getting into their B Corp, which is a huge conglomerate in itself. But the days I think of selling just like, how cheap can we get it? And I don't care what it's made out of, let's just get it done. Those days are kind of going away. What we're seeing anyway, people care about the quality, where it's made, what it's made out of. So it's a huge movement that we're seeing within our space for sure. So those are the eco-focused materials that we do at Powerstick. So again, if this is something that you're attracted to, reach out. We can definitely make sure that we can get you taken care of as far as documentation of what it's made out of, samples and so forth. So now we're makers. We're going to start getting into a little bit of the product now. We're makers. I think I told you that we're geeks. We are full of electrical engineers and a lot of R&D people. And so when we participate in the innovation space, we're always looking for ideas and products that are just different. Maybe they have some kind of basic functionality and some basic type of use, but maybe we take it up a notch. And this is a really great example of a product that we released in Q4 of last year. It was one of our best sellers during the holiday season. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? It's a 100% Canadian maple cutting board, but it has some enhanced features on it as well too. It has a digital scale, a digital timer, a place there for you to be able to sharpen your knife. And it has a hidden compartment inside of it as well too. You can pop this out if you were following along with the recipe You can put your tablet and your phone there and very easily kind of follow along. That digital component of that cutting board detaches. That way you can watch that board without having to ruin the electrical components on it. This was recently featured on Food and Wine magazine. And one of the biggest competitive advantages at Powerstick is that you normally, in most cases, you don't have to buy 50 or 100 or 1,000. There's really no MOQ. So you can buy as little as one piece. So if you're doing things with Goodson, like if you're doing programs, if you're doing online stores, if you're doing maybe inventory of some product and you don't want to make a massive commitment on a huge volume, then in a lot of cases, you can order just as little as one piece. This product is like I said, one of our most popular products, particularly around the holiday season. And I always kind of joke a little bit, and it's not really a joke, but I feel like nothing brings people together better than the kitchen. And when you're doing your corporate merch buys for your employees or for your customers or for your whoever it happens to be, think about the type of product that consumer is going to be receiving. Are you just doing something to give that consumer or that user an individual experience? Or do you want to give them something that they can share with their family and friends? They have an emotional attachment to the product as well as the people around them. And this particular product, we call it the Sous Chef. It was a great product for that. It was actually featured on Food and Wine magazine recently. It retails for about $149. And we put a beautiful decoration, top right-hand corner. It's laser etched. It's very subtle, it's sophisticated. It's a sexy imprint area. And I think that it's definitely one of those types of products that's going to be used for decades and decades.
Yeah. So Alex had mentioned something. He said the term MOQ, and for those in our industry, or for those that are not familiar with that term, MOQ stands for minimum order quantity. And a lot of folks who have purchased from Goodson understand that when you buy pens, a lot of times you have to buy at least 250. If you buy umbrellas, you got to buy at least 25 pieces, or so on and so forth. And these guys have sort of prided themselves in offering a one-piece minimum on. Is it just about all the products?
Yeah, it's just about all of the products. Yeah, and unless we bring some beautiful custom packaging, we'll see here in a little bit. And even then, the MOQ on that particular case, or the minimum order quantity buy, is just 25 pieces. So
so it's a really, really cool thing that those guys are doing. Now, in those cases where the minimum order quantity is just one piece, there is an initial setup fee across the board for a lot of that of about $92.75, but that's a one-time fee. And so if you're looking at this, like say your Remax, you're looking at this and say, hey, I really want to, every time, I don't know, a real estate agent sells a really nice house over a certain dollar amount, I want them to be able to give a nice Remax cutting board. That first cutting board you would buy, you'd pay for you said $149 for the retail, and then you pay that initial setup fee of $93. But then after you pay that initial setup fee, you would not pay that setup fee again. You would just put that item on repeat and send us an order. Say, hey, I need one more to send out effective immediately or what have you. And that's how that works.
Yeah, it's really great too, especially if you want to test market a product to see how it kind of works before you start to make some massive buys. Then the majority of products that we do, you could kind of participate in that with. I wanted to show you real quick when it bounce back to the site. You're going to find some beautiful imagery, also some different types of enhancements that you can do with our products. For instance, like in this case, you can see where it detaches. You also saw too, probably the Remax one. There you go. It's got the sleeve covering on it to enhance the branding. And also too, there's a lot of products that we have that have some proprietary functions. Or not proprietary, but maybe things that you're just not used to seeing in products like this. So we do a pretty good job on the side of being able to call out all of those really cool features. In this case, like the Sous Chef, it shows that it's a cutting board and a digital scale and a timer and a sharpener and a tablet stand. So when you're kind of going through, and maybe if you see a product, you're like, wow, that's really cool. And you can kind of really kind of deep dive into the product pretty easily. There's even high-res videos on our website as well too. It'll show you how the products are being used in a lifestyle setting. These are not just like cheap videos that we made. They're actually really, really nice, high quality. So if you would need to share this with the board, or there is a couple of different decision makers that are in on that decision of the purchase of that product, and then you can kind of share this with them as well too. So Powerstick probably told you that we had something to do with power, all right? Like something, whether you probably guessed it was probably power banks. But we've been in the industry, in the power bank industry for about 15 years. When we first introduced the power banks, we were selling them to the US military. And the reason they were using our particular power banks was because when they're not being charged, there's no electrical charge going through them at all. You probably have heard of like crazy stories about power banks expanding, catching fire. We just heard one recently from United Airlines, unfortunately, with a power pack from a laptop. But that's using lithium ion batteries that have some type of charge going through them when they're not operational, or maybe they are operational. The consumer may just not know that. Ours don't have that issue. In addition to that, too, all of our power banks are made in North America. They're also backed by a lifetime warranty. So if you find a power bank or a charger that you wanted to buy from Powerstick and you put your corporate logo on it, you can know that that corporate logo is going to be there for life. If for any reason the product breaks down or it's no longer operational, it doesn't work, and no questions asked, you fill out a rebate form, you send that in to us, and we replace that product with something of equal or greater value. It's very, very powerful also too that these are all being made in North America. There's a lot of clients that we work with, say it's Exxon or Chevron or something that has like a power plant or oil and gas or the refinery business. They don't want to bring in just some made overseas power bank that could potentially have some type of issue. Our products don't really have those. So when Exxon puts their name on our products, and they can rest assured that they can bring those into the plants without having any issues. United Airlines is another great example. They just bought 150,000 power banks and they gave them to all their flight attendants all over the world. And so these products can be carried around by those flight attendants without the worry about what if one of these catches fire or God forbid explodes. And there's a lot of cases too. We work with clients. Hey, they want to buy something that's made in North America. Maybe they don't want to buy products from overseas. So that would be another opportunity for us to participate in that project as well too. I have power banks that will charge your phone. I have power banks that'll charge your tablet. I even have chargers that'll charge your laptop as well too. The newest technology that we have within the charger space right now is the capabilities to be able to wirelessly charge your phone. You probably have seen some of these trends within the retail market. It's trickled into the promotional products industry. We're always trying to add our little spin to it. We have about 12 different types of chargers within our line. And there's a couple in particular that I wanted to kind of share with you. You'll see the different pricing points. They start off around, I don't know, 25 or so, and they go up from there. Some of them have some pretty cool features built into them. My favorite one of the chargers that are mine, that's in our line, is our Desk Shield Charge. It's pretty self-explanatory as well. It's a desk mat. It sits at your workstation. But on the top left-hand side of this workstation is a Qi wireless charging station. And what that allows you to do is to be able to take your phone, place it on the upper left-hand side of that mat, and it will wirelessly charge your phone without any additional cables or any additional cords. There's a lot of projects that we work on when the clients come to us and say, look, we don't really know what they want. They want to have a product that wants to be used by just about everyone. They have a budget to spend. Products like these work really, really well because we know that everybody, either whether working from home, whether working from the office, whether they're working in some type of hybrid situation, this product can pretty much capture all of those different types of uses. So it can be used by anybody that has a computer. And we know that just about everybody does have one. So this comes available both in black as well as the cognac brown. So anything that has Qi wireless capability, which is pretty much any modern phone these days. So you just take your phone, you place it on the mat, and then it will wirelessly charge your device. I don't know about you.
That's made out of. What is that?
What is the material that it's made out of?
Yes, yeah.
It's a leatherette PU, which is a polyurethane leather-like base. So I wouldn't call it vegan leather, but it is not premium leather. It is a PU material. So it's a polyurethane based leather.
Nice. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. So I love this product. So I think this product particularly, it's got some innovation built into it, but also is combined with something that just about anyone and everyone can use. So I love this piece. The other one that I was going to share with you this morning too was this one. This was again one of our winners during the fourth quarter. This is a wireless charger that's built in an acrylic case that you can kind of see the guts inside of it. And when your phone is being charged, the acrylic illuminates and glows. So I don't know if anyone here on this call does awards for their employees, if they provide customer appreciation gifts, if they do things for employee engagement. But this is a product that we're seeing being used in a lot of those types of situations. It's packaged in a beautiful box. It's got some innovation built into it. And I don't know about you. I'm sure some of you here on the call have won some type of award, and it's great. You get your award, you put it on a desk, shelf someplace, and it just kind of sits there.
I have
This
a
is a great
question.
opportunity. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Can you have a special engrave in there, like Salesman of the Year or something like that?
Yes, absolutely. So what you would have, there's a couple of different capabilities that we have on this product. You can put your base logo, which is maybe your corporate logo, and then also the Salesperson of the Year, or 2022 President's Club, or in my case, like Alex Symms, Salesperson of the Year.
Okay.
So these can be personalized too, with people's names on them as well too.
Now, in that case, Alex, so say, and who was at the asset? Was that Hollenbeck Oakley? Let's see here. I'm not sure. Oh, Christine, who are you with?
Unified Technologies.
Unified Technology. Okay. So
in
in
Louisville,
this case,
yeah.
Okay. So in this case, Alex, as far as setup fees for so awards do make sense, but in this case, if they put Unified Technologies on there and then they wanted to put like Brad Smith over there to the right, that one piece would have that $93 setup fee, right? But then if they wanted to come back and do a reorder and they left the Unified Technologies on there, but changed the name to like, I don't know, Jacqueline or whoever, would they then pay that new setup fee, or would they be like an interchange of name, or like how does that work in that case for an award?
Yeah, so the base setup is charged, and then there's a personalization fee.
Okay.
Usually when that's done, usually when awards are being done, it's not usually it's not a one-off. There's a combination of maybe 10, 15, 25, however many it happens to be.
Right.
And so we just collect that file by Excel, and whatever that variant happens to be. Sometimes it's not a name. Sometimes it might be they're categorized by a certain thing, right? So it can be either a name or it could be anything that you want it to be. And then you would just have a personalization charge as well too. So there would be some changes that, like you see this was laser etched, but we also offer the capability to do a full color logo. So if you didn't want to laser etch it and you wanted a full color, that might change it up a little bit. So it kind of depends on what the client's kind of wanting to do. But we're not in business to say no. We're always looking to be challenged. So definitely, if it's not something that we've done before, we'll definitely take a look to see if it's in our wheelhouse to take care of for you. But I think that this is a really great piece to be able to be used for an innovative award, something that they're going to receive. It's going to be memorable. It's also going to be something that's going to be functional and kept and used. So you're constantly being reminded and being seen over and over and over again. So when we first released this product, we thought it was going to be great just because it had some cool innovation in it. I mean, who doesn't love when your phone lights up and glows when it's charging, right? But when we saw this product being purchased, it wasn't being purchased just because of that. It was being purchased for a lot of awards programs. So really cool, innovative product. One of my favorite ones in the line. So thank you for your question. So that's the story behind our power banks. We have about 12 different versions. Some of them can be charged wirelessly, some are charged with cables. You'll also see too that it has the USB-C. It's the updated modern way to charge the phone. You guys have probably seen some cables like that, but it doesn't matter if you have Apple or Android, these products will charge both of those. This Kong one is interesting in particular because what I could do in this case is I could take my phone, place it on top of the Kong logo, and it will wirelessly charge my phone without having any cables or cords plugged into anything. So we do some pretty cool technology. It's definitely different and innovative. I don't know about you, but I lose my cables all over I don't know what my kids take them and eat them. I don't know what they do with them, but I can never find any. So I use a lot of our wireless chargers, so I don't have to worry about those cables and those cords. So
Alex, I apologize if there's some road noise, but I do have a quick question.
Sure.
So I have a MagSafe case on my Apple iPhone. Does that charger work with that case without taking the case off? Can I just set the thing right on top of that charger and it still works?
Yeah, it does. And we've seen some pretty cool things. We go to a major trade show in January and everybody's always trying to prove it wrong. Like, what can I do? What can I put on it that will make it not charge? We didn't really have the only instance that we had was sometimes when people put these card backers on the back of their phone, and if it's like metal or it prevents any type of way for it to be able to connect, then that's where you might have a problem. That's really like 1 or 2% of the users of the phone. And so in other cases, like if you had the MagSafe, or there's some retail names called a Anchor or OtterBox or some of those types of devices, you probably have heard of them before. those charging cases have no problems. So the MagSafe, I have one actually on my phone here. It doesn't affect it in any way at all. Great question.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. While we're at the website too, and we're talking about some products that revolve around some different pricing points. And as you kind of surf around the sites, you might kind of see that there's products that retail for $2, there's products that retail for $150. There's some cases where you just have a budget. Look, I've got $25 to spend, and I want to find products that fall within that certain price point. You don't want to have to go to the site, click on each individual product, see what it retails for. So what we've done on our website is we categorize our products by price points. So you've got $100 to spend, great. Oh, we love those orders. But if you click on under $100, what you'll find are all the products that are a little bit higher in premium pieces as well too. If you click the $50 one, you'll find products that fall within that space, the $75, so forth and so on. So that's a really great tool. Pretty easy. You just click on products, and then that'll show you the different types of products that are categorized by price. So we have a lot of home and office products. What you'll find, again, as we kind of mentioned, like the Clear Charge, which was the clear one that charged your phone, a little bit proprietary and different. The Desk Shield Charge, a little bit more proprietary and different. So we have a lot of home and office ideas that you'll find. Again, if you go to our website and click on home and office, you'll find a lot of those different types of products. We got into the Bluetooth speaker space about 3 years ago. The space was already mature. The market share was already kind of spoken for. If we were going to participate in this space, we had to do something that was going to be different. It had to be unique. It had to add some additional value as well as some quality. We have about 15 different Bluetooth speakers in our line, and they do some pretty cool stuff. And I just wanted to kind of share this with you. This is actually, if you have received your box, I'll show it to you here on the screen. You probably received this. This is our Ari. It's our #1 selling product. It's a 5-watt Bluetooth speaker. I wouldn't say it's ultra portable, but it's fairly small. It's got a great price point to it. It's a 5-watt high quality speaker. It's clear, concise. If you receive this, you'd already know that. But for the ones that maybe haven't received it yet, be on the lookout for it, right? It's going to be a great product for them to get an example of. But this guy right here, he's hanging out. He's getting some sun. It sounds like a lot of us are not getting this sun today. But he's actually hanging out with a product that we call our Alto. And what our Alto is a combination of a Bluetooth speaker and wireless earbuds. And you're like, wow, that's really cool, but I don't know why would I ever use anything like that before, right? So let's just say this guy got up, right? He got up from his nap and he wants to go for a run. And he goes
Alex,
for
sorry
a
to
run.
interrupt.
Yeah.
Are you supposed to be sharing your screen?
Yeah.
There we go.
Good catch, good catch, good catch.
Yeah.
Now we can see our beautiful friend, right? He's kind of hanging out. He's enjoying the sun. And he's listening to that product, like I mentioned, called our Alto. And so it's got wireless earbuds built into it, and it's also a Bluetooth speaker. So he got up from his rest, and he wants to go for a run, and he's running down the street, and he's listening to a podcast, and he gets to the house. What he can do with the click of a button is he can click the Alto device, and it will transfer the sound from the wireless earbuds to the Bluetooth speakers with the press of a button. So it's a really cool Bluetooth speaker. It's got a lot of innovation built into it, and it's multifunctional. The actual case itself is also a charger too, so it charges those earbuds while they're in the actual product itself. So if you've got maybe a project that maybe you were talking about, maybe doing a Bluetooth speaker, but you want to do something maybe a little bit enhanced, it needs to be multifunctional, it needs to be cool and innovative, then that's a product that I would definitely suggest probably taking a look at. The other thing that you'll see is I know that you're kind of surfing around through our website right now, is some of our products when in the speaker space are sold in pairs. And there's a reason for that. All of our Bluetooth speakers have something called TWS technology built into them. And not to geek out too much, but what does that mean? Basically what I can do is I can take one of my speakers, operate it as a left channel, take another speaker, operate it as a right channel, and I'll have a natural built-in surround sound system built into my room or my office and my space. It's a really cool function. It's something that a lot of speakers don't have. And then again, if I kind of just, again, talk about the quality of the Bluetooth speakers, most of the ones within the promotional products industry in our vertical about 3 watts, These are all 5-watt speakers. So we kind of pride ourselves in not just having some cool technology built into them, that if we were going to do something in this space, it really needed to be a high quality. It's got clear, crisp. It's got bass boost built into it as well too. And as you can kind of see, we 4-color process print, so you can do some beautiful, vibrant, bold imagery on the top of it as well too. One of my favorite lines as well too. The fastest growing product category in our line right now are our Bluetooth trackers. You're probably familiar with the retail names Apple or with the AirTags or Tile with their version of it as well too. During the fourth quarter of last year, this technology exploded. And you probably heard those horror stories, maybe from the airlines losing people's luggages and canceling their flights and no one knew where their bags were. If they had one of these Bluetooth trackers attached to that luggage, they would have been able to easily locate at least where it was. There was a lot of misunderstanding about this technology over the last couple of years. I think this situation has put a lot of people's minds at ease, and why it's so important to have one of these on your, whether it be your keys or your laptop or your luggage or whatever product that you might potentially lose. Ours has 2 different features built into it. It has a Find Me feature, which is pretty self-explanatory. If I lose my keys and I want to find my keys, I go to the app on my phone, I press the button, and it sends an alarm to that particular device. It also has a tether feature. And what that means is if my product reaches too far from me, it'll set an alarm off both on my phone as well as the product. And we have about 12 different form factors for our Bluetooth trackers. I can have some that'll attach to your bags, things that'll attach to your keys, maybe your puppy dogs. I always thought that this would be a great product to be used for the pet industry. So if my dog ever got out, I can know exactly where she's going. So that would be a cool use for it.
Alex, is it bad that the use case I've thought of is sticking to my kindergartner's backpack?
Yes, well, you got to watch that. But yes, that would be, keep track of your kids as well too, would be another one. But I think for a long time that people were very familiar with this technology, but they were a little bit afraid of it. But what I think has happened recently is people's minds have become at ease. This is a great travel piece. This mimics both Apple and Android and can be used on both Apple and Android. We just got approval also to be partnered with Apple. We will be on their Find My Phone feature in the Apple Store. So if you're an Apple user and you use iPhones and you use that Find My Phone feature, this product will be attached to that app. But in addition to that too, just in full transparency and honesty, sometimes people don't like to buy Apple because it might be a little bit expensive or only works with the Apple. Our Bluetooth trackers will work with both. And they're probably about half, if not the quarter of the cost of them. So I would say that
another really good question here. She said, do these interfere with TSA regulations?
No, they do not. And they do not in any way at all.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. So Justin Hunt says he's used the Tile one on their dog as well too.
Yeah.
I love the Bluetooth trackers. It's definitely one of the most popular products within our industry right now. And so if you need documentation, maybe you don't quite understand the technology and you want to learn a little bit more, reach out, ask us about it. We'll definitely explain it, how it works. It's very unintrusive. And also too is a great opportunity to be able to provide someone something that might be going on a destination, or they're going to a conference or event, or they're flying somewhere. Or just about for anyone. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've lost my keys and I didn't want to go looking for them. I just pulled out my phone, pressed to Find Me, and it's an alarm to it. Be like, oh yeah, that's where I left them. But yeah, I think putting them to your children or maybe to your pets, but pretty good idea as well too. So really, really popular product category. I think it's important for you to be very much aware that this is something that's a very popular product in our industry right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Tons of use cases for sure. Tons of use cases.
Yeah, I mean, I can think there's one in the chat that talked about stolen purses. Absolutely. Or sitting down at the airport and looking away, and then all of a sudden someone maybe walking off with a bag or something, or maybe you forgetting the bag. So these are great options to use this product for. It's great general use product that you can be, using.
Yeah, and hey,
One
Alex,
question I have,
quick,
Alex,
go ahead.
real quick. I know but could you speak to charging? Like how long? How do they charge those trackers? And I don't have a lot of experience with them in general. How long and then how long do they hold a charge, things like that?
Yeah, so they should work in operation between 18 and 24 months, right? So you're like, oh, great, it's a disposable product. Well, wait about that, because all of ours also have the capabilities to have a replaceable battery in them as well too. Not the option to have one. They do have replaceable batteries. So all you do is you go back and you replace the battery. That's a huge advantage versus some of the other ones that are in the space. And we're not here to pick on anybody, but talk about Tile or talk about Apple or whoever. They don't have replaceable batteries built into them. These also have Bluetooth 5.0, which means the distance range on them are pretty good. There's actually a comparison chart if you're wanting to get more information on that. If you went to our website and click the sales tools, there's a speaker comparison. We talked about the Bluetooth speakers, but also too, there's the comparison chart between the Bluetooth trackers as well too, that'll talk about the distance, the type of battery, the battery life, the app, how it's packaged, so forth and so on. So if you really want to compare apples to ours versus the retail type of makers, like again, we don't really try to pick on anybody, but I think that what will happen when you go through the comparison, you're just like, wow, this is like so much better and it's a lot less expensive and I can put my logo on it. And yeah, there's a lot of great advantages to use Powerstick Bluetooth trackers versus some of the other ones that are out there in the market.
And then just real quick, I know, so the goal or the aim is to try to stop around 10:45. We are just 2 minutes past that.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
No, it's all good because I did want to touch base on the next slide you're going to be getting to some of the lower end items that we're really excited about. But anyone who has some questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat box now, because I know we kind of leave some space towards the end, but throw some questions in the chat box now, and then we'll try to wrap this up pretty quickly.
Yeah, Brett, thank you so much for the reminder. Sometimes I start talking and we start talking about other things and like
time flies when you're having fun,
sidetracked. All right, so we do participate also in some low-cost items. They retail for as low as like $250. They kind of go up to there, but they range between the $2 and $10 range. We get a lot of requests for those type of budgets. They want to do something small. It's going to be given out at a trade show. It's going to be a giveaway to their clients. They're going to do them in massive volumes. They don't have a huge budget. They just have a couple of dollars. There's a couple of products in particular that I wanted to kind of call out for you today here on the screen. The first one is this one. You can kind of see it. It's got the golf card. This is called our Infinity Pencil. And you're like, Infinity Pencil, what does that mean? Well, the Infinity Pencil we call our Jot is a really cool piece because it never has to be sharpened and it never runs out of ink. You're like, what? That's crazy. That's not even, yeah. So that's what happens. It's like the product never has to be sharpened and it never runs out of ink. It's great for golf events. We think it's a great general use product that can be used for just about anyone. It's got a key ring on it, so it can attach to your handbag or your backpack. But if you have any golf events coming up or any corporate events that are going on the green, this is a great product for those particular types of events. It's a really low cost item. It's got some pretty cool functionality. It's a usable. Sometimes you're just looking for maybe a writing instrument. This is a really cool product as well too, because it's the same type of feature, but it's got some enhanced innovation built into it as well. The other product that I wanted to share with you too was the Glide. It's down here with the Dunkin' Donuts logo on it. If you're in the medical field, if you're in the hospital field, this is a product that you just have to use for just about anything. Nurses Week, Doctors Week, whatever. What this is an ergonomically designed wrist rest. So I don't know if you're like me, you have a mouse pad, you have where your kind of wrist kind of sits on that mouse pad. After a while, it kind of gets indented a little bit. We developed the Glide to be able to protect the wrist and protect it from the ability for it to start, I don't know if you've ever start clicking, click, your wrist starts to kind of hurt. This would actually helps that from not happening. So that's called the Glide. It retracts and constricts depending on the size of your wrist. And it's just a really cool, innovative product. There's phone stands, there's fidget pops, there's key stacks. There's a lot of products that stay within a low price point.
And see, the Glide is one of those things where, like, I'm so thankful you described it on the call, because looking at it, it's very underwhelming. Looking at it, it just looks like a whatever that is. It's like a shape with the Dunkin' Donuts logo on there. But then you hear the backstory behind it, and you hear the use case, you're like, oh wow, that's super cool. And a lot of times, again, even as a distributor, kind of going to and curating products for some of my clients who are looking for some of these things, If I come across this, I just don't know. I don't know what I don't know. And I'm really thankful that you touched base on this, because it's just a perfect example of sometimes
I actually
pictures
have
don't
one
tell
of those
it.
glides that I use
Nice.
pretty much every day, and I really really like them. And
Heck
they're fun
yeah.
to click around when you get bored too, because they were like ratchet back and forth. So it's a really fun fidget too.
I like it.
So last thing, Brett, and again, sorry that I went over just
No,
a
it's
little
all
bit
good.
long.
We're okay.
So I was pretty blessed. I think I showed you my tenure before, or when we got started. I've been doing this for quite a while. In August of 2018, I was able to become part of an acquisition team that bought a box company. And if you remember, like a couple of years ago, yeah, we were taking a box, we were putting stuff in a box, we were shipping it from point A to point B, and we still do some of that. But what our industry has really kind of learned is that we can use custom packaging as a way to be able to become an extension of your brand, through the use of different types of printing technologies, enhancements and add-ons, even the capabilities for us to come back and laser etch the foam. These are very affordable things that you can do to really create an amazing experience when you're doing kitting projects, or maybe you're doing a box or new hire kits. We're sending out some really cool prospecting kits for your buyer, your potential buyers. So we have about 12 or 15 different kits that are pre-made. You can take the least path of resistance and be like, hey, I've got $40 to spend. I want to do a kit. What do you have? We can come back and do 4-color process printing on the inside lid. We can add a sleeve. Again, like I mentioned, we can also laser engrave the foam. But what we're also capable of being able to do is allow the client the capabilities to be able to custom curate their experience however they want it to be. That's adding products that we don't do. Say that's a water bottle or a candle from a small candle maker in Colorado, or a mug, or whatever that product happens to be. We can do the box, we can do the cutting of all the products. We can even at some point do some fulfillment of that as well too, and deliver out a package that was very minimalistic, that took a little amount of time to do it, but we could do all the decorations on it and deliver it very quickly. So if you've got some projects that revolve around custom packaging, and you want to do these cool types of enhancements or this printing technology, and we can actually drive that. Our creative is amazing. We can lay everything out for you. We can design the box. We can even help you a little bit custom curate this experience, so you can add some products from some third parties if you wanted to. But we think if packaging is here, and packaging is here to stay, it's not going away anytime soon. We feel like it's a really great opportunity to provide something we call experiential marketing. It's the wow factor that you get when you open the box. Nothing motivates a new hire than receiving something that was kind of custom curated specifically for them, whether that be personalization on a product, or just everything kind of flows together, or the branding all looks good. This is your first impression of your new employee. So if you're not using like custom packaging or kitting or some way to be able to kind of package all of these products together to welcome on a new employee, this is definitely something that you want to learn a little bit more about. It's very easy. I know it sounds like it's very complex, but it's actually quite easy once you kind of get into it. And given the creative capabilities that we have, as well as Goodson, we can put together some really amazing concepts for you. So that's pretty much it for the day, Brett. Sorry, I went off and over and stuff. So what kind of questions do you have? Did I miss anything?
I wanted to jump in here with a comment and a question real quick. The other day I had submitted art to Powerstick for a particular item, and I think it took them all of 5 minutes to come back with a beautiful looking virtual that sold the order.
Yeah.
And the other thing, did I hear you right in saying that we can send product from other companies to package with yours?
Yeah, there would be a couple of, we need to go through to see what those types of products are, and, if there's any additional customs, taxes, duties on those third-party products. But the worst case scenario is we could always do the box and the cutouts. You can source product from elsewhere, and we can find the fulfillment center here in the States to be able to take care of that as well too.
Yeah, I got a client looking at luggage tags, and that combined with those tag trackers may be a perfect set.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But do you mind if I share the virtual?
No, not at all.
So this is the one. So this is what normally happens. Hey, Alex, I'm working on a project. Here's my client's logo. It's usually like a one color logo or whatever. So what we usually try to do, and there was some other stuff that was handed to us as well too, is that this is very typical of how our virtuals are coming back. So if you've got direction on kind of what your product wants to look like or kind of what you're kind of thinking about, that's great. If not, we can kind of take the branding, we can create some pretty cool creative concepts for you. And then you can kind of start to kind of drive it as well too. Yeah, I like this, but maybe I don't want the full color sleeve. Okay, we can take that off. Or maybe you don't want to have certain like full color on it. You just want it to be sleek and sophisticated and very, very simple. We can take that direction as well too. So again, these take about 5 minutes, like Buck said. So if you're ever working on a project and you want to do some creatives to kind of see what the product might look like printed, let us know. We'd love to knock out some of those concepts for you. Thanks for that case study, Buck.
Yeah, really fantastic. And I heard it well said one time as far as custom packaging goes. It does add some premium to the project, and there definitely needs to be some budgetary funds allotted for it. But what it does is when the recipient gets it, somebody said it's like opening up a celebration, and it's just a really cool experience for the person getting it. Yeah, I just love it. I love it. And so across the board, for you, what you guys are doing with the sustainability thing, the really cool items, the thoughtfulness behind what's going into the items, the custom packaging. Hopefully you guys that are on the call can kind of see why we're so excited about Powerstick and why we needed to get them in front of you guys effective immediately. Really and truly. If anyone else has any questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat box here, or feel free to unmute or what have you. We'll give it just a couple more minutes here. We'll try to do a hard stop, maybe like 11 o'clock. It's like 3 minutes. But Alex, certainly appreciate your time today. Really and truly. It's been great.
Yeah, it was good. Had a good time. Thanks for letting us share our story. We love sharing the love. Thank you for helping us do that. And look forward to working with you guys on a project and the people here on the call. I just know that there's some great ideas. They're probably kind of tossing around right now, and let's see what kind of trouble we can get into.
Absolutely. If I had to ask, what is your favorite Powerstick product across the board? Like if you had to pick one and go home with it for life, what would it be?
Yeah, we have a product called the Forte, and we didn't talk really too much about that. It is a Bluetooth speaker, right? I know we could have cut off, but the Forte is one of my favorite products because it has that combination of a Bluetooth speaker, but I can wirelessly charge my phone while I'm listening to the music.
Oh,
so
wow.
last one I promise.
Okay, it's okay. I brought it up. It's my fault.
But the left channel, the right channel, and then while I'm listening to my music from my phone, I can charge my phone at the same time. I love this product, not just for my home use, but also too for the conference rooms. So if you guys have a project that you want to do something for conference rooms or it's nice executive gifts, and I love the functionality of being able to laser etch the foam. That's such a cool printing technology that a lot of companies can't do. So those are my two favorite.
Fantastic. Okay, well, it looks like we don't have any questions in the box. We got a whole lot of thank yous and great products, and a lot of people feeling the same way that we do. So I think that'll just about do it for us. Again, thank you so much, Alex. For all of you wouldn't mind going ahead and stop and sharing. Thank you, everybody, for joining in today.